L.Shima here, and welcome to episode 11 of Be Cool. We finally made it to episode 11. This is exciting. I am happy to finally be here again. It's been a whole week. I'm a little late, 2 minutes late, but I think I actually had everything perfectly set and was ready to go. There wasn't any moments where I had to say hold on or let me figure this out real fast and all that mumbo jumbo that I usually start off the episodes with. So this is actually one of the first episode I actually can actually say Periscope. God, my freaking phone does not want to always cooperate. But the first episode I can finally say, hey guys, this is episode 11 of Be Cool, and let's begin. So just a quick little mention for myself is feel free to check out my store if you're interested in any store merchandise L.Shima merchandise and things along those lines. So it's definitely lshima.bigcartel.com. Give it a check out, see if you like anything. Eventually I will add more stuff, but I just haven't had the time and haven't really also figured out exactly what I want to create for y'all. Hopefully for 2017, I might have finally a calendar, but that's another day, another time, because that's just something. I have this thought and this idea for a calendar, but I cannot really find the appropriate shop, the print shop, to make it a dream come into real life. So that's kind of the only issue that's been putting that idea on hold for me. I even for 2015, I think that's when I was originally going to release it. I had the actual design of the dates and the months and everything. I had the photos in mind that I wanted to have as the calendar and things along those lines. So one day, I promise. Hey guys on Periscope, and hey Derek on Ustream. Today's been very interesting. This week has been very interesting. I have been focusing so much effort on my trip to New York, which I will be leaving on Wednesday. I've been telling people that I'll be there from the 13th to the 18th, which is technically true. I just might get there on the 13th instead of already being in town, because I don't think I'm ready yet to actually leave on Tuesday. So I'll leave on Wednesday instead, and I'm driving actually. I'm renting a car, driving all the way to New York. Hopefully it will not snow on my way there. It's snowing right now here in Detroit, so hopefully it will just be nice and steady roads from all day Wednesday from Detroit to New York. So hopefully the weather will be on my side. And then I've also been telling a lot of people that I will be there again from the 13th to the 18th, but there's a chance I actually might stay longer than scheduled. I'm not really sure yet. That is something that is still in the works. If I were to stay a little longer, it would be until January 21st, 2nd, 3rd, somewhere around that time. So I have to kind of figure that out on top of it. So this is going to be an interesting trip. And one of the things that I find, so majority of the time, and I think I mentioned it last episode, is how I've kind of organized my travel trips and getting things, photo shoots lined up, and how I kind of make that work. I've been handling that for the past 2 weeks now, and I've been reaching out to certain photographers, replying back to photographers that have emailed me, and vice versa. I would love to get involved with a whole team, so having a hairstylist, makeup artist, the whole works. But since I'm not from New York, and me personally finding a reliable team is kind of more complicated than what you might think, so I kind of need the photographers to kind of at least assist on finding a team if that's what we decide we want to have happen. I am more than welcome to contact the people personally myself if they don't want to fuss with the actual job of emailing and such. I can definitely handle that, but it's more of the idea of I just can't go and randomly find a hairstylist that can do 60s style pinups hairstyle, because who knows if they're going to flake on me, who knows if they're actually going to arrive on time, who knows if they're even actually going to do a legit job at it. So I'd rather have a photographer who's already worked with some people and kind of already know how the situation might turn out. But quick little added bonus, because I always forget this, for especially people on Periscope. Hey guys, my name is L.Shima, and I am a full-time model, and this is my podcast, Be Cool. We're on episode 11. All right, just wanted to throw that in there. But yeah, so I will be heading to New York, and I've been emailing photographers nonstop. I'm pretty much I'm done. Like, I'm done messaging people, because I pretty much did, like, not over exaggerating. I've probably done like 25 individual photographers or just people in general. You asked on Periscope how old am I? Jeez, I'm not doing too hot tonight. I am 23 years young. Yeah. All right. Anyways, and so I've messaged around 25 photographers, and the one thing that has really twisted my knob a little bit in that idea is, and I know Francis has told me ever since I've met him how this business works as far as, like, you know, the behind the scenes kind of situation. You message or you get contacted by 25 people, realistically 5 of those people are actually going to respond. And that's a true story. I messaged so many people for actually not even just photographers in New York, but also guests to be on my, podcast. And literally, I've only gotten 5 emails. And not even saying those 5 emails, not all of them are actually agreeing to work with me or to be part of the, be a guest or anything. It's just 5 emails people actually responded back to me to say either, yes, I can do it, or no, I can't do it. And it bugs the living shit out of me. And I know that I sometimes get so trailed off and behind in responding to emails. So I know that people are busy, or maybe they just didn't see it and it just got lost in the email lifespan of whatever happens. And I know there's possibilities of things that happen, but realistically, that's one of the reasons why I just kind of get like, oh, I just want like responses. You all have asked me on Periscope, what is the podcast about? And since I am a full-time model, the podcast is more about having people, or most likely more of my supporters, kind of getting to know me a lot more than what my photos shows you. And if you don't know who I am, you can check out lshima.tumblr.com for a long list of photos from me. And also, not only is the podcast just to be talking about myself, I will starting next week, we'll have guests on it. So other photographers, models, makeup artists, hairstylists, everyone that's usually involved in this industry, come on and talk about their life and their experiences with the career choice that they are in. And so it's a great episode, or it's a great podcast for people that are in the arts to kind of get an idea of how other people handle their situation out, and just to hear stories. If you really admire a certain photographer and they are on my podcast, you kind of get to see how their life turns out and kind of get like more of an understanding of who they are as an individual as well as an artist. So that's kind of the basics of the podcast. It also can be fucking random, and I'll talk about just random BS that really has nothing to do with anything except for it's my life. But anyways, I don't really know where I was going, and now I am drawing blanks. Alright, so other than that, yeah, that's the one thing that actually is unfortunate for myself and my working and everything, is I'm waiting on emails and nobody's emailing me back, and I'm like, no. And so it's funny because now that I've officially had 3 to 4 photographers technically say, hey, yes, we'll definitely work together when you're in town. Awesome, you've said you want to work with me. Now it comes down to the actual scheduling part. Just because you said you wanted to work with me doesn't technically mean that it's actually going to happen. Prime example, super example. And I was not meaning for this to be an example, but it just ended up happening that way. Back in 2015, since we're in a new year, around May, June time, I took an East Coast tour with a fellow model, and we went to like Philadelphia, New York, Toronto, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and like we stopped in what's that one like very casino-y town in New Jersey? I can't think
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City. Yes, thank you. Atlantic City. We stopped in there for a day. Anyways, we were going to these different cities, and I was handling the same situation I do with this New York trip, emailing a whole bunch of photographers, waiting on responses, trying to schedule things. And so I was organizing my shoots in Toronto. And this was the first time I was ever going to be in Toronto. I was super excited, get to work with photographers in a different country. This is going to be awesome, right? And so I had about, like, literally, I'm not exaggerating, probably about 4 to 5 scheduled photo shoots. One photo shoot actually turned out. Just for whatever reason, they actually said, yes, we'll work with you. Probably about 3 of those yeses didn't actually give me a scheduled day, so I didn't really take that into consideration. That was their loss, in my opinion. Then there was the ones that actually said, oh, we'll do it Saturday at 11 o'clock, and we'll do it for 3 hours, and this is the looks, and this is the blah, 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 that goes down into the details of a shoot. And it came down to Friday. I'm trying to email them, text them, call them. No answer. They're pretty much flaking on me. And it just goes into just oblivion. There's nothing I can do by that point except for just move on and live my life to the fullest. So that's what I ended up having to do when I was in Toronto. And that's one of the things that I am kind of not used to, but it's one of those sucky situations that I just hope doesn't happen for this current trip to New York. So I've gotten a good amount of people that are interested in working with me. Now it's just more of the let's get shit scheduled, and I'm seriously super open now that I'm probably going to be in New York for an extra 5 days. I seriously can shoot exactly whenever, at any location that you possibly can think of. The only time that I know for sure I can't shoot is Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, because you know where I'm going to be? Here. Well, not physically here, but I'll be here on your screen live with you. So I'm also excited to announce that next week will be happening. So even though I'm going to be out of town, it's for sure going to actually be an episode, and it's going to be awesome because, damn it. Pause real fast. Give me a second. I meant to grab this earlier and I forgot. Okay. Awesome. So next week I finally have my first ever guest on the second saga of Be Cool. For whatever effing reason, nobody wants to respond to my emails about being a guest on my episodes. Either they're super intimidated because I'm fucking awesome, or they're just super busy, or they're just like looking at me sideways and like, Be Cool, a podcast, a model, what? So whatever, that's their loss. But I have 2 awesome guests, and possibly 3, that are going to be on next week's show. So it will be in New York. I will actually be staying at their house while I'm in the city, and I don't really know what is going to happen other than just this. Whoa, Periscope is tilting. Sorry about that, y'all. Other than the standard from, if you've never seen my episodes in the past where I actually had guests, it was a very interesting dynamic that I've tried to set up, because usually, I need like a stand for my phone. Like it just, because it's on the charger, and so that's balancing on the charger. It's not. So I'm sorry, Periscope, that I'm just gotta be tilting here and there. If you've never seen episodes in the past where I actually have a special guest, I usually leave that episode for them. because the episodes without a guest is just me constantly talking to you, and which I think is fun. I mean, I hope y'all think that's fine. That's why y'all are sitting here right now and watching this. But realistically, when I have a special guest, it's kind of a time for me to like not talk as much and allow the guest to kind of like spread their wings and like show y'all what they're about and kind of like, you know, just be them, but kind of it be their episode instead of my episode. Like, I'm gonna take it down a notch. I'm not gonna be all up in your face as much. I might obviously assist in asking questions and kind of like having a conversation, because that's also how I like to have it. Is it's just a not standard, but like a unique casual conversation, you know, one that we've been friends for decades and we're just sitting down and just kind of refreshing our memories and kind of getting to know each other a little bit more and things along those lines. And same for y'all, because I personally have been through a lot of interviews online and a couple like on a radio show, and those were totally awesome and fantastic, but after a while interviews start asking the same general questions, like, oh, what's your name, how old are you, how long have you been doing this, why did you get into this, what's one crazy thing that you did when you started or in your entire career, and like things along those lines that just keep adding up, that every interviewer always asks. And some of them make sense. Like, obviously, what do you do for a living? Because a lot of these, you know, a lot of y'all might not know what this individual might do. But making it more genuine and unique to that certain individual. So I tend to do a lot of research about these people, like to the point where it's like on borderline stalking them just to get questions. So I'll notice, oh, so I noticed you went to Florida back in 5 years ago and you went scuba diving. What kind of particular fish were you very fascinated by? And things like that. Like just random fucking questions that make it more true to them and their individual life. Like Nardwar. Nardwar. Anyways, so that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to finally have guests so I don't have to talk as much. Speaking of talking, I'm dying of thirst. But yeah, so, okay. So, drum roll, please. So, my special guests, because it's plural, for next week, I hope they don't mind that I'm going to show this photo, but, you know, whatever. My special guest for next week is photographer Paul Tamayo and his darling girlfriend, Yang, who's actually a designer, and their possible cat, Ripley, that might show up through the actual recording. Okay, so now I have to show it. So here they are on Periscope. Check them out. Don't they look so fucking awesome in this fucking photo? This is their holiday card. It's so awesome. I'm so jealous of it. Oh my god. So, Paul and Yang will be a special guest next week. I will be staying at their house, so most likely I will be hosting the episode at their house. So it's going to be interesting in that sense. But realistically, it'll still just be the same. And get ready to ask a lot of questions. If you want to do research, I will link their work or their social media on YouTube and SoundCloud when I post this. And I'll try to remember to post it on my social media. But just get ready, because this is going to be awesome. I do hopefully have planned... Actually, I technically had planned for another guest the following Sunday, but if I'm going to... There's a piece of hair and it's really bothering me. If I'm going to be in New York for an extra 5 days, I don't know if that's going to have to get... that sucks. Okay, well, I have to figure that out. Anyways, so yeah, I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited. This is going to be exciting, because now I finally have fucking guests. Because nobody wants to be my guest. Alright, that's cool. Anyways, so this episode was gonna be kind of weird. I feel like that's every episode, but this one truly, I didn't really have anything planned to talk about it. The end of last episode, I'm like, oh, I need to do this idea. Oh, this idea is gonna be great. Oh, now I have 2 ideas that I can do for next week. And then, of course, I didn't write them down. I didn't save them anywhere. And so today comes, and I'm like, can't remember what I wanted to talk about. Hey, on Periscope! Derek, I see you there. To acknowledge you streamers, y'all are talking without me. Alejandro, hi. Kyle, hi. Theron, hi. And then Derek already said hi to you. Andy Dubs, I see you. Let's see. Okay, Kyle, please be careful because it's crazy out there. Oh, he's talking and referring to the snow currently in Detroit. Me and Francis actually went on an adventure, which I'll talk a little bit in depth later, with a little later. But we left around noontime, and they still didn't salt the highways, so it was pretty scary. Nah, I wouldn't say scary, but, you always gotta drive super slow. I was not driving. So, pretty much. You asked on Periscope, you asked what's the topic of this week's episode. I'm not really sure. It's just things that have happened this week, and there is technically a topic now that I think about it, but I'm debating if I really want to get into it, but we'll see. So this episode is just like a random bunch of shit, just to fill your ears with my voice and nothing else. Today's topic is getting L.Shima to New York safe. It is. Like, if y'all want to think of, plans to make sure I get there safe, I'm totally about it. Random thought, actually. Sorry, you streamers, just as a random thought. So, speaking of safety and a whole bunch of other shit, and I was telling Francis this last night. So, this week I actually watched a scientific research about what happens when a plane crashes. And so that sounds really depressing or scary, and it kind of is scary. My heart was racing just for the fucks of it. But I don't like planes. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned in that previous episodes, I really fucking hate planes. Ever since Final Destination, the first one, fuck that shit. I really hate planes. I hate airports and planes, so I just hate the entire experience. But I decided this week, it was posted on Reddit, and I wanted to watch basically what happens when a plane crashes. And it was at 7:57, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a whole scientific research. They had the pilot jump out of the plane. They had a helicopter right next to it recording from that angle. They had people from a good distance away with telephoto lens recording it from a certain angle. They had a whole bunch of just fucking angles and shit. And they had dummies in the actual plane itself to measure out certain things. And you've mentioned I had read that it's safer at the back of the plane. No, I'm gonna get to that. Alright, so you have to watch this if you're really interested. I might try to link it to you. And of course, all the comments on Reddit were I don't know what they're fucking were saying. They were just saying, oh, this was back in 2012. I don't even know. But that doesn't matter. So the pilot jumps out of the plane at a good distance away and lands safely on the ground, whatever. So the plane is just basically slowly coming close to lower altitude until eventually it hits the ground. And so the way this plane hits, so say this hand is the ground and this hand is the plane. The plane started to come and it hit technically the bottom of the front first, and then the rest, eventually came later. And so when that happened, the entire cockpit broke in half. It broke away from the actual body of the plane. And so that came off first, and then, spinned around, whatever happens, and just flew right behind the actual body of the plane. And so when the plane was, sat still, it actually got a good distance away. And so, again, like I said, they had dummies in the actual body of the plane. They were able to measure the force of impact based on some scientific fucking shit that they have. I'm not really good at describing these things, but it's just funny to hear me do this. Anyways, so one of the dummies, or two of the dummies, and each dummy was in different seats. Two of the dummies, one of them was in a breaching position, so basically, Alright, this is me. Like my slippers? I know, they awesome. Okay. So breaching position, your legs are on the ground. Imagine my legs are seated in a normal airplane position, but you're pretty much in a breech. Your head is basically right next to the seat in front of you. Your arms are crossed under your thighs. Your legs are normally where your legs would be, and you're just kind of almost in a huddling position. So, that's the breeching. I don't remember if it's actually called breeching, but I'm going to call it that because that's the only word I can think of. They were in a breeching position, and then the other dummy was in a standard sitting position, as if you're just chilling in an airplane and nothing bad's going to happen to you. So they figured out what exactly happened to both of those dummies right when the impact happened. And so the breached dummy, its head went forward about a few inches, so not too much. But the one biggest thing is they noticed that the feet or the legs went back and hit the back of the middle console of the seat that the passenger is in. And that they hit it at such a force that it could possibly have broken their femur or seriously bruised it or cut it or whatever. Nonetheless, they suffered some type of injury towards their ankle, foot, leg area, calf area. And so that's one thing that they noticed about the breeching. The dummy that was not breached was in a sitting upright position. Their body went more than a few inches forward at impact and possibly hit their head on the actual seat itself. And then, so that could cause concussions from how hard you hit your brain, obviously. And then also, with the force and flying your body forward, they caused a lower spine injury. So that could either be dislocating anything or just spraining it, or whatever, ends up tweaking the fuck out of it, whatever. There was something that possibly could have happened to their lower back. And so they were saying with the person that was in a breech position, if their fucking legs don't work based on the injury that they have suffered, if there was a fire in the plane, if there was a fire in the plane, then you're fucking, like, not useless, but fucking useless. Like, you're just not going to be able to move anywhere quick enough. You're just going to be just, like, kind of just trying to crawl out of situations. I don't really know. And then, obviously, the concussion. If you get a concussion, that fucking sucks, obviously. And especially your spine, that fucking sucks, too. So, they were saying, nonetheless, they both have their positives and... oh, my God, Periscope. They have their positives and negatives as far as injuries go. So, they were more saying... it's up to you if you want just a fucked up leg or if you want to suffer concussions and a lower back issue. That is completely up to you. They had two people that survived plane crashes, completely different crashes, and one was in a breach and one wasn't. And so they both obviously survived and they both had different injuries and those things. Then they had one with a seatbelt and one without a seatbelt. Obviously, the one with the seatbelt stayed in the fucking seat. And then... and then the one that didn't have a seatbelt on was like, they called it submarining, where the body just basically goes underneath the chair in front of them. So their torso was right there where like the little plate thing comes out on the back seat. Let's see. I'm trying to read. Okay. Submarining, like you're, a submarine, but it's submarining. I don't know. That's what they called it, I think. I don't really know. Anyways, so those were the dummies. So that's kind of what their study was. Now, the cockpit was, well, before that. So how a lot of airplanes have designed themselves, or the airplanes didn't design them, the manufacturers designed the airplanes. Anyways, you know what I mean. The manufacturers have made where if any sensation of the lower body of the plane touches something that it's not, the wheels will automatically detach from the plane. So meaning if that happens, the wheels will come out from the side instead of when it hits on impact, the wheels coming just straight up and possibly fucking knocking the shit out of people above it. Anyways, so that was a nice little thing, and it was proven that it actually worked because when that happened, the plane, they had footage of that actually happening. Anyways, so the cockpit, since I said earlier in the beginning that the cockpit completely tore off, and it was the first thing, and it went just all the way behind the actual body, that fucking thing was just destroyed, like fucking tore up. So the pilots, unfortunately, on that plane wouldn't have fucking made it. And then they also noticed, since it tore off from the body, a few of the front seats went with it. So like seat 7A, unfortunately, probably would not have survived that accident because their seat as well went ripped off with the cockpit and then tumbled around and whatever fucking happens. So that was unfortunate news. And then they realized, then they measured the force. So the front of the plane obviously had the highest force, and then slowly the middle was about average, and then by the time the back of the plane came, it was at a lower force. So in that situation, being in the back of the plane, you had more chances of survival. And like you questioned in the Periscope, that is technically true as far as this plane's situation. Now, they said that there was a guy that was breached that actually survived. So it's safer to be in coach. Wait, hold on. So the guy that was breached in an actual plane crash, he was actually in like first class, or he was in the upper class of coach, and he survived. But because his flight landed from the tail end, and then so obviously wherever it hits first, you have to hope that you're in opposite ends to actually survive. So if your plane hits from the front, you better hope that you're in the farthest fucking seat back, and you'll most likely you'll be alive, but you'll be probably suffering from some major injuries. And vice versa, if you're sitting in first class and the plane hits from the tail, then you most likely will survive, but you'll be suffering from major injuries. And so it was just very informative for me to watch this and kind of get an idea. They kind of say basically just pretty much be in the middle of the plane. Not saying that that's fucking safe, but hey, it's like a 50-50 chance, right? But yeah, I fucking hate planes. I've always thought, because everyone tells me, oh, well, you're safer in a plane than you are in a fucking car. I get that. I understand that. But if a car accident happens, at least I'm still on the ground, so there's still a chance of surviving that. If I'm in a fucking plane and it's diving down from the air, I don't really know, because that's just... Yeah, because if you survive from, like, the plane exploding in midair, you still have to worry about surviving landing on the ground. So that's just, I get it. There's still a less percentage of, accidents, but still, I just don't like it. I don't like to think about it. Please don't fucking talk about it when I'm in an airport. Just don't talk about crashes at all. And that happened to me. I was literally on my way to Birmingham, Alabama. I was on my last flight in this little tiny plane, and the fucking people behind me decided to talk about a recent UPS plane that fucking crashed. And I'm like, seriously? You can't wait until we're already on the fucking ground to talk about this? You have to talk about it as we're still in mid-fucking air. I wanted to turn around and freaking punch them in the face, but I wouldn't do that, one, because I'm super nice, and two, I don't think I would have been able to get out of my seat anyways, because I'm just still scared of just being in the plane. So anyways, and the reason why I brought that up is because you were talking about my safety to New York, and it also brought up, because this is where I brought up this conversation last night to Francis. I was watching another episode of Leonardo DiCaprio on Ellen, and he was talking about a moment where he actually jumped out of the plane for either fun or for a movie. I don't really remember the actual storyline, but he jumped out of the plane, and he actually was on tandem, and the Ellen was like, oh, so you've done it before, so you definitely do it again. And Leonardo was like, no, once both your chutes don't open, you don't do that shit again. And so he got more in depth that his parachute didn't open, so now the tandem was trying to pull out his, but his chute was tangled. So he's just falling midair with a guy on his back, like, alright, well, I hope I fucking get a parachute open. And obviously, long story short, he ended up getting his parachute open, because obviously he is still alive, and he is fine and dandy, and all that other stuff, but, sorry, you heard Akira. But there was a moment where, that situation happened, and it's a scary fucking situation. I would be fucking shitting myself if that was the case. Like, I'm not all about that life. And then he also mentioned that he was on a flight to Russia or coming from Russia or something, and he was in the window seat and he noticed literally one of the engines blowing off, and he was like looking around and nobody's acknowledging that this is actually happening. And so one of the stewardess comes and says, so, and he does, obviously he's an actor, so he does this fucking like southern accent for the stewardess, and she goes, the stewardess is like, so, yeah, just let y'all know that we lost one of our engines, but we're gonna fly into, whatever you call it, an emergency landing kind of situation. And then there was one Russian, guest, whatever you want to call him, passenger, that was just like, so, is that bad or good? And she's just like, well, it's fine, we're just gonna do an emergency landing. And the Russian's like, so how many engines did we have? And she goes, well, we had 2, now we have 1. Oh my god, Akira, did you just drink water and eat my face?
Special guest.
Oh my god, vagina on my shoulder.
Special guest, sorry.
So I just thought that was fucking funny how he told the story, but realistically, you're like, fucking Leonardo had 2 incidents with the fucking plane, for the plane. In my world, I'd been fucked now. No more planes, I'm done with it, not happening, never again. But with his job, he technically has to ride planes. I don't know how he does it, but I would be fucking shitting balls if that was me. And yes, that was totally jog vag all up on me. That's what she normally does. She just jumps up and then fucking like smothers her entire body in my fucking face. I actually was really gonna record this episode upstairs while I played with her, like kind of hang out with y'all, but hang out with her at the same time. But I didn't. I'm kind of lazy and I didn't want to do that. So, alright, that was a random story. Back to you streamers. Sorry, that was a really long tangent of a story. Kyle, thank you. Kyle says that he loves my necklace. Theron, when are you coming back to Toronto? Soon, maybe. So I've been to Toronto twice. My first time was a really bad experience. Just horribly bad. Every time now I think of Toronto and certain individuals, I think of that moment in my life. I went a second time, and it was just for a day trip, just for one shoot, and then leaving again. And that wasn't too bad, but I didn't get to really explore much of Toronto. So hopefully another time, and hopefully it will be a lot better than the last time, or the last time. But one day, I need to. I like Toronto, at least. It was a nice, it's completely different than Detroit. Detroit has more of, the old school buildings, brick, stone buildings and such. And then Toronto is just nothing but steel and glass and, super fucking tall buildings. You're like, oh, shit, this is, a whole different fucking city. Let's see. Anonymous, Shima, how many photos have you posted in 2015? I don't know. Babe, do you know that answer? I feel like you would.
I counted 2014. I haven't counted 2015.
Apparently he counted 2014 and not 15. So I don't know what the number is in 2015. I will get back to you. I will try to remember that question and give you a proper answer, because I have no proper answer for that. Alejandro, last wasn't even asked. Laugh out loud, just kidding. What are you talking about? I don't remember. Sorry, Alejandro, I don't remember what you were questioning on that one. I'm sorry. This is what happens when I don't answer questions right after they are asked, because I wait a while, I get into tangents of stories, and then I just forget. Kyle, the #BeSomebody episode was the best. Be somebody. Oh yeah, that was a good episode. I felt this episode's just weird. Now I feel like I'm just rambling and just slowly dying. No, I'm not dying, I promise. I wanted to talk about one specific topic, but now I'm 40 minutes into this episode. I don't know if I want to. I'm trying to think. Oh, okay, so definitely this is not a topic, but I wanted to bring it up to y'all because I had to do with today, and I mentioned that I was going to talk about this actually. So you know how my episodes really don't really show much sex appeal as much? Like, I might show cleavage here and there. I might wear, like, more tight-fitting clothes or something, but I don't get, like, in complete nudity or, like, complete lingerie. Like, this podcast is about me, and realistically, this is what I like to be like. I don't want to be in lingerie, and I don't want to be nude. So, unfortunately, I'm sorry. The slippers were fucking sexy. I mean, the slippers were. You're right. The slippers were fucking sexy. I mean, is anyone even here for that? Some. Well, I'm sure because Periscope started with 20, and then people realized, oh, this girl is not doing anything interesting. She's just fucking talking. Or, this girl is not showing any body parts, so I'm just gonna leave. So I'm sure there's people that do want that, but I don't provide it. So they're like, fuck this shit, and then they fucking leave. Whatever. Good on their part. But, okay, so we know this, right? We know this already. Alright, so I'm gonna give y'all an exception. I think that's what the word I'm thinking of. I'm going to break the rules just this one time because I think this story is just funny to me, and it's just interesting. And I feel like y'all will enjoy it because y'all might be like this certain person. And I'm looking upstairs, and there's a certain person upstairs. Alright, so about that same trip when I took to the East Coast, I actually had a scheduled shoot with a photographer, and he wanted a certain look. So I went to Victoria's Secret, and I got exactly what he wanted. Lo and behold, that shoot ended up not happening, so I just pretty much got like this nice white bra and matching underwears for it. And I think I've shot in it before. Like, if you were here for the Periscope episode where I did a quick mini photo shoot, or if you saw the photos from that shoot, that white bra that I'm wearing is the bra that I bought for that specific shoot earlier that year, whatever. Anyways. And so, when I bought it, a certain individual by the name of Francis was very intrigued with that bra because the bra apparently made my boobs very nice. And I wasn't really, when I go to buy bras for myself, I'm thinking everything I buy as far as clothes-wise, I always think about photo shoots. That's always in my brain. How is this going to look in a photo shoot? Blah, 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 blah. So when I buy lingerie or bras or whatever, I keep that in mind, but I also keep it in mind on how comfortable it's going to fucking be because I do have bigger boobs, and usually having support for them is not really fucking fun. And so this bra was something that fit the photographer's idea of what he wanted to shoot, as well as it was nice and comfortable, and it made my boobs look nice. I'm not gonna lie. So I ended up getting it. So Francis noticed it and said, yeah, my boobs look fucking amazing in it, and it started this whole new idea in his mind. I don't know if it was new. I'm sure he had this ever since for the past 5-6 years, but whatever. He wanted to buy me a Victoria's Secret Bombshell Bra. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a bra. Just thinking about this makes me fucking crack up. It's basically a bra that makes your boobs 2 cup sizes bigger. So I have already big boobs. I don't have the biggest boobs in the fucking world, but I have decently big boobs for my size. And if you want to know, they're a 32F. That's what the actual measurement of my boobs are. So if I want to go 2 fucking cup sizes, that means my boobs are going to turn into a size H. Falsely a size H. So Francis had this brilliant idea in his mind that he wanted to buy me a Victoria's Secret Bombshell Bra. And when he told me this, I obviously gave him the roll of the eyes. Like, seriously, like, no, I don't need that. Like, why would I need that? I don't need a size H boobs. I don't need 2 cup sizes bigger. Like, it's just no purpose of me having that. But for the past, 8 months, he was totally for it. One day he's gonna buy me this. One day it's gonna happen. And then every time he brings it up, I'm just rolling my eyes. Just, All right, yeah, it's sure gonna happen. Okay. So, this week comes, and we spent all day yesterday thrift shopping for, getting in preparation for this trip to New York. And then all day yesterday, he's just like, I'm going to also buy you the Victoria's Secret Bombshell Bra. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, Francis, whatever you want. We'll go to Victoria's Secret, and we'll look up Bombshell Bras. And since he's technically not allowed to go in a fitting room, or at least we thought he wasn't, I'm not really sure, I had to take pictures of me in the fitting room so I can show him what it looks like. And so he can figure out which one I'm gonna go with. So we ended up going today, and that was like the main purpose of today, was going to Victoria's Secret and getting a Bombshell Bra. Okay, so we finally get to Victoria's Secret. And I'm looking like I don't really shop at Victoria's Secret. And so I walk in and I'm like, I don't know where the fuck this thing is supposed to be at. There's fucking things all over the place. So I finally find one of the workers and I ask her, and she's like, oh yeah, the Bombshell bras are this way. She's like, what size bra, or which size bra do you wear? And I'm like, 32F. And she's just like looking at my boobs. She's like, you don't need a Bombshell bra. Like, that's usually for like A and B cups that want to get like a bigger, look to them. And she's like, and you already have a good size to yourself. And Francis is right next to me, and I'm like, yeah, I know, and I kind of wanted to throw him under the bus, be like, it's fucking his fault. Like, I'm here because of him. There's no other reason why I would want this except for him. But I decided to be like, well, I just want to see what it looks like. And so she's like super fucking confused about the situation. She's like, why the fuck would a girl with the F cup want to fucking get double-sided fucking cups? She was so confused, and I could definitely tell it on her face. And so she's like, well, I'll show you where the Bombshell bras are, but maybe you also kind of, because, definitely get, like, the cleavage, obviously, but definitely maybe consider getting just the 1 cup added bonus. And I'm like, it's not up to me. It's not up to me on whatever ends up happening. I mean, technically, realistically, if I tried things on and Francis would be like, oh, I really like that, but realistically, he'd be like, well, it's up to you, whatever you want to buy. But this entire trip is all on him. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Just show me the bombshells and then show me the other ones. And, I'll try them on and see which one is the best fit. God. So I go and I find, so they don't technically have 32Fs. And I've known that. They technically go all the way up to Ds. And so the basic rule of bras is, so say mine's a 32F. If you're looking to go on a short or a smaller size as far as the cups go, so if I want to go to a D cup, I have to go down, or I have to go up the waist size. So I'm a 32F. That means I would be a 34E. That means I would be a 36D. So having to do that math in my head is kind of like, all right, cool. So anyways, so I found a 36D in the Bombshell bras. This fucking thing is like jam fucking packed. Like, it's just literally like stuffing. Like, it's like you putting a bear in your bra and then just saying, here, this is double padding for your boobs. And this thing is like hefty. Like, it's just fucking thick. So I'm like, all right, there's this nice one that I thought was pretty cool. So I grabbed that one. I think I grabbed another one, but in a smaller size just in case. And then I gave it the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, all right, Francis, let's at least grab one of the smaller added cups ones. So I grabbed a couple of those, went to the fitting room, tried them on. The first one I actually was the Bombshell, was the first Bombshell one. And that actually probably fitted nice and didn't look too bad. And when I say bad, I mean, I looked a little insane as far as my boobies go. Anyways, and so I put on another one, and it was like a basic white one. And I'm like, this is okay. It's not awesome, but whatever. I put on another one. It was a 36D. The band was really big on me, so I'm like, okay, so I had to get her attention, have her get me a different, smaller size in it. And I find out that they have double D's and triple D's, but they don't have E's and F's, which doesn't fucking make sense in my brain. But they don't have double D's or triple D's for the Bombshell, because obviously Victoria's Secret was like, yeah, who the fuck would want to wear this if they have double fucking D's? Pointing up to that man up there. So anyways, so I try on all the bras, and it ends up being this one particular one that I decided it looked the best, it fitted the best, and it's overall what Francis kind of wanted in mind. And it was one of the actual 2-cup sized Bombshell bra. So I go and show him, and his eyes just like bulge up, obviously, what you can imagine. And so I'm just like, this is ridiculously happening right now. Okay, cool. So he's like, well, how much does it cost? And I'm like, so if you don't know me, I am very fucking frugal. I am very cheap. I don't like spending money. I just don't like it at all. If I have $100 in my wallet, I will say I'm poor. I just don't like, I'm just very sensitive as far as money goes, and I don't really like spending a lot of money. I feel bad when I spend a lot of money. Even if it means like I have to pay for toilet paper. Not really. Okay, that's exaggerating. I don't feel that bad when I have to pay for toilet paper. But when it's like not necessities, I feel super fucking bad spending a lot of money on it. So, friends like, oh, how much does this cost? And I'm like, more than I'm willing to honestly pay for it. And so I turn the tag, and it costs like $65. And I'm like, Francis, I don't think this is worth it. Like, I seriously just don't think this is worth it. That's a lot of fucking money. He's like, well, you know, I've been talking about this for like 9 months, though. It's like something my every dream kind of thing. And I'm like, I know, but I just don't. And, you know, he was debating it too. Like, he knew that was fucking expensive as well. So he was going back and forth, and he's like, well, for photo shoots, is it gonna work? I'm like, I mean, yeah, technically for photo shoots, it would be fucking awesome, depending on this certain style that I shoot it in, or the certain direction the photographer takes with it. But realistically, I'm like, for $65, I really don't know. And I thought, well, I could also wear it in normal day life, but there was this, it was a black bra with like these studded little diamond things on like the bustier part, like the actual cups. And then it goes into like a halter though, and then it has like this fancy schmancy back to it. Not that fancy schmancy, but like more nicer than your standard bra. And so I thought I could possibly wear it in normal day life, but since it was a halter and I couldn't really change the halter's aspect of it, I can't really wear a normal t-shirt because you'll see the straps. And another thing about me, I fucking hate when people wear outfits and you can see their bra straps. That bugs me to like so bad. Like, it just bugs me. Like, I plan my outfits based on if my bra straps will show or not. Like, it bugs me so much. So I told him, I'm like, I don't know, it's really risky me getting this if the halters doesn't work with any of my outfits. And it's nice, it obviously does what you want, it makes super cleavage, but like realistically, I don't know. And so, you know, we stood there and thought about it, and I was like, well, you know, do you think we should just go to a different Victoria's Secret and they'll have more options, all this other shit. And I'm like, you know what, I think this one's nice. If you really want to spend $65, we'll spend $65 and we'll get this Bombshell bra. And so, gosh, we ended up doing that. And so I got this Bombshell bra, and I'm planning on taking it to New York, and I'm going to all day tomorrow set up photo shoots in my house to take of all my wardrobe and get that set and send that to photographers to let them know of the outfits that I will be bringing and all that other stuff. So, like I said, this is a one-time thing. Do not be expecting this ever fucking again. It might happen on a blue moon, but don't fucking expect it. But I'm going to, oh my god, I am going to show you this Bombshell bra, and realistically, I'm actually wearing it right now. Because I just thought this story was funny, and I felt like it was one of those, it could be possibly funny to you, but maybe not, but realistically, you're probably just more waiting to see the bra itself. So I'm going to show it to you. So this is one of my new shirts that I probably will bring to New York, depending, I don't know, it depends if it actually works or not. But anyways, alright. It feels like I'm like strip teasing for y'all. Anyways, I'm going to adjust to make sure, because this thing is fucking, like, ridiculous. Like, seriously, this is ridiculous. Alright, so this is pretty much the Bombshell Bra. It's ridiculous, right? Like, this is fucking ridiculous. Francis, it looks crazy on video. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's just thing is just... And it's like a fucking, like, beanbag. Huh?
Especially if you arch your back.
If I... Well, yeah, okay. Arching my back, yeah, obviously. Like, it's just... It's like... People can make gifs of me. I'm slapping my tits around. But it's like... It does nothing. Like, it's just fucking huge. It's, like, ridiculous. Almost borderline embarrassing. It's funny. And this is what I was saying. It's a halter. So it's a halter, and I can't, like, wear a normal t-shirt, because usually a t-shirt comes from right here, and then comes over, and the bra strap will show, and I can't fix that. And I lost a follower on Periscope, and that was shocking. That's weird. Oh, wait, I gained one. Oh my god, people are like, what? Bras? What's happening? And so then, again, this is a one-time thing. This is not happening ever again, I promise you. And then it has, like, this fancy, like, little thing in the back. I don't really know. But, yeah. So, this is my Bombshell Bra. I hope it is bombs. And it's definitely boobs. And, yeah, it's crazy. And then you have, like, these little gems. And Francis was like, because I tried on shirts with this before the episode started. And he's just like, yeah, so it depends on what type of shirt you wear. If the shirt's very thin, it looks like you have, like, pimples on your boobs as far as, like, these little gems. I'm like, yeah, that fucking sucks. But, whatever. It's a bra. Francis got his dream and every wish come true. Y'all got y'all's dream and every wish come true. Because also, realistically, I know I'm a model that is transitioning into a different genre of modeling, into, like, the more fashion, urban lifestyle route, but I'm still known as the girl with big boobs, and I appreciate my boobs. Like, I'm not, like, always, I mean, in real life, I'm hiding them, but in shoots, I still like to flaunt off my boobs. Like, it's one of the things that makes me me. Like, I'm just known as the girl with decent-sized boobs, and I am fine with that. So, using this for shoots, I'm totally fine. Like, I went and tried it. There's just one outfit I'm so fucking excited for. I found it at the thrift store today. I might wear it for an episode. I don't know, but it's so fucking awesome. And then with this bra with it, oh my god. Alejandro, if you're watching, I'm going to probably use that for our shoot, because seriously, my dear, this is fucking, like, the most interesting fucking outfit I found at the thrift store. And my hair is looking crazy. So yeah, y'all got to see me in my bra on Be Cool. And that was really crazy. Luckily, Ustream did not kick me out. Luckily, Periscope wouldn't have done that. And YouTube shouldn't do that either. Alright. So that was that one story. Oh, yeah. So on Wednesdays, I go to the local shelter. So this episode is just randoms. On Wednesday, now I feel like y'all are just more, like, in the thought of, like, boobs. So anything I'm saying now, y'all are like, what? What are you talking about? I don't get what you're talking about, Shima. You're just, your mouth's moving? What? I'm just thinking boobs. Like, boobs. Anyways. So you could think that I'm still going to talk about random things. But on Wednesdays, I go to the local shelter and play with dogs for 2 hours. It's the fucking best day of my life. Every Wednesday's awesome. I actually got to change it this week to probably Tuesday, because I'm going out of town Wednesday, as we just discussed. But this past Wednesday, I went, and there was about 15 dogs, which was awesome. And I tried my hardest to go to play with every single one and give them walks and attention and stuff. And so 15 dogs, like, calculating that's like 6 minutes per dog kind of thing. So I get to the end and I see this really huge, like, Shepherd Akita mix dog that's in the back of the line. And I'm like, oh my god, you're so fucking fluffy. You're like a fucking bear. So I ended up deciding I'm going to walk you first, because I just want to see, because every time I go there, I also want to get a second dog. I know it's not the time for us, but, like, I just want all of those dogs that are at the shelter, but I just kind of go there too, just to see, like, I definitely want you. Like, I hang out with them, and I'm like, I definitely love your personality. I want you. So I see this bear-looking dog, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to take you out first, so I can see how you play and see if I fall in love with you instantly. So I grab the leash, I unlock the cage, I am getting ready to get it actually hooked on the actual leash, and as the dog turns, I notice, oh, you're fucking a 3-legged dog. This is literally literally my first time actually seeing a three-legged dog in person and actually walking it. And I was so fucking happy. Not happy because he was missing a leg, but just because he was just so fucking cute overall, and he was a three-legged dog, and I'm like, I want you even more. Like, I just want to take care of you and be there for you and be your extra leg if you need it. Like, it was so awesome. And he was the fucking, I wouldn't say best dog because my dog in the past was the best dog, but he was fucking awesome. He was the best. I'm going to say it anyways because I can't think of another adjective. Anyways, but he was just fucking awesome. He was just always cuddly and just wanted to be right next to you, and he actually, like, super did play, even with the 3 legs, and it was just like, I just want you. And I called Francis immediately, and I'm like, I have found our second dog. This is seriously, like, if nobody takes this goddamn dog, I swear to fucking baby Jesus, I am taking it home. I am kidnapping it. Don't even need to kidnap it. I will pay the $200. I will take this bad boy home and give it all the love and attention, and Akira will do the same because goddamn, this dog deserves it. I was so happy just to be around that dog because the dog was just so awesome. Because some dogs, when I'm at the shelter, not all of them, but some of them are very independent. They like to be by themselves and kind of hang out and all this other stuff. And the crazy thing is, and I don't think it's crazy, but some people might, is the pit bulls that are there are actually the more cuddlier dogs. They're the ones that always want to be on me and, like, get pets and, like, just always want to be around me. While there's a few dogs, like, there was one hound that wanted to do nothing with me. They just wanted to fucking be on its own and sniff the world and not even acknowledge that I was there. So just seeing this dog, I'm like, God, I love the ones that fucking want to cuddle me. And you say, I am vocabulary, you're not too fond of pit bulls. Why are you not too fond of pit bulls? I'm very curious on that. Francis, technically, he loves every dog, but there's certain breeds that he is more fond of, and pit bulls are not in his top. Right, I would say. Anyways, but he's had said, like, there's a few pit bulls that we've seen, like, walking with their owners and stuff, that he's like, ooh, that's a gorgeous dog. I'm like, yeah, because it's a fucking pit, and they're fucking awesome. Pit bulls are awesome, hyper dog, but good dogs. Yes, my sister's always had pit bulls, and they are fucking hyper, but everyone that I've been around are super, like, cuddly. Like, they just want to be with you. You don't trust their mental stability. I mean, honestly, any dog, you can't really trust their mental stability. A fucking Kira, honestly, she could go and attack us. She punches me on purpose. I'm not kidding. That's why I also wanted to play with her live on this episode, because I wanted to show y'all what I go through. She's fucked up my nose, like, bruised it to the point where it's, like, swollen. She's hit my, what was the other part? Oh, my eyebrow. And, like, made that fucking sore. She literally punches me all the goddamn time. A poodle you can trust. I wouldn't say that. Actually, when Akira was a puppy, when she was 4 months old, we took her to the dog park in Florida. It was either a poodle or a water dog, like an Irish water dog. Can't really remember exactly, but it was super curly haired. And this dog, out of fucking nowhere, decides to go and attack Akira and bit the fucking Akira on the neck. And she still has a scar from the actual hole. But I say you can't really technically trust any dogs, but as long as they give a lot of training and they're just, I don't know. My sister's had an American Statsford pit bull for majority of, not our lives, but more for the entire life of this pit bull's life, for at least, what, the dog was like at least had to have been 11. His name is Chompsley. He was the fucking adorablest dog ever. And he has just this huge fucking head. And he was just so cute. And he was awesome. And she trained him well. And he was a good boy. But yeah, I know. Some dogs you can't trust. Akira probably one day, she just probably stares at us in the middle of the sleep and just was just like, no, she doesn't. I swear. She's like the fucking weirdest dog in the world. She wouldn't do that. But you never know. But based on my experiences with pit bulls and other breeds, the pit bulls are definitely the most cuddliest ones. And then the smaller dogs, depends on the breed, but usually those are a little bit more independent. And I'm not too fond on smaller dogs. I love every dog. I would seriously take every breed of dog in the entire world. But smaller dogs, they're not as cute to me. Like, they're like, oh, you're a dog. But, like, bigger dogs, you're like, oh my god, you're so fucking cute. I just want to, like, eat you up. Chihuahuas is the most terrifying dog. I've owned Chihuahuas when I was little, and I actually dropped one on its head, and it was really fucking sad, and I felt super bad. I didn't mean to. It happened. It survived, but it just felt super bad for it. Chihuahuas are fucking insane dogs. Super insane. I could do an episode about dogs. Ooh, I'm gonna do an episode about dogs, and if you don't like dogs, this will be the worst episode for you, because you can just get over it. I'll add cats. I'll add iguanas. I'll add birds, so everyone gets a little taste of something, but it'll be a dog episode, just talking about breeds, and then names, and then sexes, and then, I don't know, I'm just thinking of things, and I think I should go, but, I'm just kind of rambling. I need to focus on you streamers, because no snakes. No snakes? What's wrong with snakes? Not saying that I would own a snake, but what's wrong with snakes? You streamers, sorry, I kind of, ignored y'all. I'm so sorry. Cause y'all stay. You streamers, y'all's text stay until the episode is over. Periscope, it leaves instantly. So, like, I have to pay more attention to them than y'all. So I'm sorry, you streamers. I see that you've written me, and I'm going to read them now. Anonymous, do what you do. Use it as a surprise. I hope this story ends with you wearing the bra for us. I might make that happen. The episode's not done yet. Maybe. We'll see. I feel like when I take the shirt off, it feels like I'm strip teasing for y'all, and it feels weird. Like, that's not what I do. That's just weird. Just felt weird. Thron, it looks great. He made a good choice. Yeah, with the bra. I actually picked the bra. He just picked the idea of the bombshell bra, but he kind of helped with the choice, too, of the bra, like making sure, that we both will like what I end up getting. Like, I was asking him, like, do you like this bra or this bra? He's like, oh, I'm not too fond of that one. Or, so I asked his opinion. So, I mean, we both shared this, but whatevs. And Periscope, or Ustream, just FYI, Periscope is totally hating on y'all right now. Just saying. They're saying they're better than y'all. Just saying. Not trying to start drama. Just telling the truth. Spreading the truth around. And Alejandro's sweet. Alright, guys. I think that calls it a night. I am fucking thirsty. My throat is dying. And I need water. So yes, next week it will be awesome. I'll have special guest Paul and Yang on next week's episode. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I'll be up in their house. I will be in New York next week. I am very nervous for some goddamn reason for this trip, and I'm not really sure why, but it's gonna be awesome nonetheless, and it's going to be spectacular. I'm gonna work with some awesome fucks. No offense. Fucking photographers. I kind of like stopped at that and just meant to keep going, but I didn't. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to work with some awesome photographers and meet some awesome individuals and do some awesome things. I'm going to just... It's going to be a better trip than last trip to New York. I for sure know that for a fact. Last time's trip to New York was fucking miserable. This trip should be fucking awesome. So, like, if it's not, I'm literally just going to be like, what am I doing with my life right now? Alright, guys. I appreciate y'all watching and staying through this. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Anonymous. I know you didn't mention it. You're asking me if I would wear this bra to a shoot? I will definitely wear this bra to a shoot. Woo! Alright, this never happened. Don't go sharing what happened here tonight. Don't worry, you can, whatever. Alright, bye. Bye, everyone on Periscope. Have a fabulous night. Toodles. And here comes Akira. Bye, everyone on Ustream.